Hello and welcome to another installment by Extreme Text LLC. Today we're going to create a vertical menu using CSS and Dreamweaver CS5. If you want to use a text editor you can, but I have Dreamweaver CS5 so that's what I'll be using. And this is basically what we're going to create today. If we go into live view, we can see it has a little hover effect where the background color changes, which is pretty neat. So we're going to come out of live view, we're going to create file, new, a blank HTML page with no layout. For your doc type, for other people, you're probably using the XHTML 1.0 transitional, which is fine. I'm designing now in HTML5, so that's how I have mine set up. I'll go ahead and click Create. We'll go ahead and click this in the split view if you're using Dreamweaver. And the first thing we want to do is go ahead and come into the body tag and create a divide tag with an ID name of menu. For this you can call it anything you want, navigation, really anything. But I'm just going to go ahead and call it a menu. And we'll go ahead and end that divide tag. Click refresh. As you see, that divide tag is in there now. So we're going to come inside this divide tag. And what we want to do is create an unordered list of the page names and where they're going to go to every time they're clicked on. So if you come down here beside the italicized button, click unordered list, it will create your opening and closing of your unordered list and the same thing for your list. Now with your cursor between the opening and closing tag of the list, what you need to do is create an AH reference tag. And we're just going to go and put pound in here for right now. This is actually where your page name would go, such as index HTML, about HTML, whatever your page names are going to be. Right now I'm just going to put a pound in there and close that out. Then we'll go ahead and end that. Then for the name we'll just go ahead and put home. Now some of you out there might like coding, but I prefer to do less coding as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And we'll paste it about 5 times. And then we'll go ahead and change these other names. Call this one About Us. Call this one Services. We'll call this one Address. And then finally, we'll call this one Contact Us. And if we click refresh here in design view, you can see how it's set up, where it's created a bulleted list with all the names you put in. They're underlined because even though they're not technically linked anywhere, they have a pound in there, so it's showing that they should be linked. So the first thing we want to do is start creating the CSS roles. So right before your ending head tag, you want to do a style, and then the type is text CSS. We'll close that out. Hit enter a few times, then we'll end that style tag. So now within the style tag, we need to start designing this up to make it look good. We're going to shift it all the way to the left, give it that little hover effect, make it look pretty nice. So the first thing we want to do is get in for the pound menu and the pound menu UL and the pound menu list. What we're going to do is go ahead and zero out the padding for this, because Internet Explorer and all of them have automatic padding and margin set up. So we're just going to go ahead and put padding in here and zero it out. Same thing for the margin. We'll zero it out. And when you click refresh, you really don't see much of a change except for it shifting to the left here. And that's just setting everything up for you. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and create the CSS for the list. Now instead of typing it this time, I'm going to show you how to go into your CSS styles panel. If you don't have it open, you can come into Windows and then CSS styles. So I go ahead and click on that. This little plus button here, we'll click a new role for the list item. Go ahead and click OK. Now for this, we want to change the list style to none. And then the next thing we want to do is set the position to relative. And then the width to 120 pixels wide by 30 pixels high. And then we're going to come in and set the background color. We're going to make it black. And then if you come under type for the line height, you can choose auto or whatever, but we're going to set that up for as the same height as we did with the 30 pixels. Then come down here to extensions, and for the cursor, we're just going to choose pointer. And now if we come back to our block here, well, our box, for the padding, what we want to do for the top, we want to set it at 0 for the top and bottom. And for the right and left, we're going to set it up with 20 pixels on both sides. Give it that nice little effect there. That's all we're going to do. We're going to click apply. As you can see, the black background's there. But we're still set here with the blue color because they are links. We'll change that here in a minute. Go ahead and click OK. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and change that A to a white text. So we're going to click on that A. Come back to your CSS Styles panel. Click a new role. Click OK. And what we want to do here is for the color, we're going to choose a white. If we click apply, you see it take effect. Notice they still have these little underlines because they are links. We can take care of that by coming to text decoration and choosing none. Go ahead and click apply. You'll see that they disappeared now. Go ahead and click OK. Now if we're going to go to live view now, we see it's just a basic black background, white text, some menu links because you can see the mouse pointer stand up. You know there are links there. They're technically not going to go nowhere yet. Now what we need to do is create that little red Hoover effect we had on the other one I showed you. So we'll come back out of live view. And what we need to do is, most people is going to want to go into the A here and do it that way. But technically it's through the list. That way the whole background color changes. We'll go ahead and click on that list. And a new CSS Styles. And we don't want this. What we want to do is add a colon and then type Hoover. So when that's hoovered over, the whole list item background will change. So we'll go ahead and click OK. Come in the background color. We'll go ahead and do that red. And that's all we're going to do. And that should finish the menu up and make it look just like the other one. Let's go see what it looks like. You hover over it, and there's your little red Hoover effect. It creates the whole background, pretty nice. What you could also do for these is, if you wanted these separated, what we could do is come back to our CSS Styles panel. And come into our UL list. Click on this little pencil icon to edit the role. Come down here to the box, and we'll just go ahead and we'll set up a 10 on the top and a 10 on the bottom. We'll click apply. Puts a little spacing in between there so it looks a little bit better. But we'll go ahead and I'm going to take these back out and put them at 0. And what you could also do if you wanted to is do a little border around this. We'll go ahead and choose a solid with a 2 pixel and a blue border, well, a green border. We'll go ahead and click apply. Gives that nice little effect that you can see the menu separated. For right now, I'm just going to wipe all this out. But you can play with this menu any way you want to make it up to your design. So we'll just go ahead and take that out of there. And as you see, it goes back to the way we had it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And the next video will be on creating a horizontal drop-down menu using CSS. So hope you stop back and enjoyed this one.